Colder air continues to funnel into central and eastern Kentucky. Now we track not just a light snowmaker, but the potential for a bigger storm for Super Bowl weekend. That's straight ahead.
Frozen roads led to dozens of crashes here in Wolfe County this morning.
And top-ranked Kentucky is getting ready for a rematch against Missouri. The last time they played, UK won by 49 points. Lee K. Howard is in Columbia with a preview of the Cats and Tigers.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Snow is moving back into the bluegrass. We started today with rain. You're looking at Triangle Park in downtown Lexington, where after hitting highs in the 50s, temperatures are dropping this afternoon. And we could see some light snow tonight. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking it on First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, Jennifer, yesterday we promised temperatures to spike and then crash on us. That is indeed what is taking place out there right now, courtesy of a strong little system that is diving through the Ohio Valley. It's 60 degrees right now into London and 39 into Covington. How about that? What is 21 degrees among friends? That colder air, though, continues to settle its way on toward the south and southeast. So there you see Frankfort at 43, 44, Lexington 50 into Richmond, and there's the 60. That thermometer runs hot anyway into London. Most areas are into the low and mid 50s right now, but it is a big temperature crash that is on the way. Live First Alert Defender, nothing that is out there in the short term except a lot of cloud cover. A little hint of some sunshine still across other Kentucky. Say goodbye to that. Northwesterly wind flow and one more weak front that slides through here. That front will create some snow showers that develop tonight, tomorrow morning. Maybe a little coating for the trip into work and school tomorrow. Weather headlines, slick road potential in some areas tomorrow. Then we watch Super Bowl weekend. And Jennifer, it's an increasing threat for a winter storm to impact the bluegrass state. Coming up here in less than 15 minutes, we'll show you who has the best chance of being impacted by this winter storm. That's with a full forecast.
We'll see you then. Thanks, Chris. And all that rain this morning caused some icing issues on roads in central and eastern Kentucky, leading to dozens of crashes. One of the main trouble spots was the Mountain Parkway. It was shut down this morning in Powell County because of crashes, and in Wolfe County, driving was also dangerous. WKYT's Victor Puente is there with a look at road conditions in our top story at 4.
For several hours this morning, emergency crews here in Wolfe County had their hands full dealing with multiple wrecks after ice covered roads across the county. Workers at the State Road Garage told me the freeze began around 9:30. They say a light rain came down and turned to ice. This was what the Mountain Parkway looked like around 11:45. Drivers told me a hill was so covered in a layer of ice they weren't even going to risk it, leading to that line of stopped vehicles. A video posted to Facebook showed just how bad that ice was as a man tried to walk across the parkway, but it looked more like a skating rink. Dispatchers tell me they had at least a dozen crashes this morning. One man who drove through town told me he saw multiple cars on the side of the road. It got bad enough the sheriff's department was asking people to stay off of the roads until the ice melted.
People stalled, stuck, tractor and trailers, cars parked by the side of the road in numerous numbers.
That traffic on the Mountain Parkway cleared up around noon. State road workers tell me they expect to be back out tonight with snow in the forecast. In Wolfe County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
And Pence says they were fortunate the freeze didn't begin until after all of the school buses were off the roads. An update this afternoon on the investigation into a bar fight that injured an EKU football player. Police say the fight happened early Sunday morning at Jersey's in Richmond. The incident reportedly involved college football players from 2 different teams. Police say there are a large number of witnesses to the fight, and they're still in the process of interviewing them. EKU offensive lineman Colton Scurry suffered cuts, a broken nose, and other broken bones in the fight. School leaders say a reported assault at Telford Hall may be connected to the fight. The undefeated Wildcats go for their 20th straight win tonight. They're taking on Missouri, and it's a homecoming for UK freshman Devin Booker, whose dad played at Mizzou. Lee K. Howard joins us from Columbia now with a preview. Hi, Lee K.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Columbia, Missouri, where tonight the top-ranked Kentucky Wildcats will take on the Missouri Tigers for the second time in just over 2 weeks. Now, the Cats won that game by 49 points back in Rupp Arena, but John Calipari says tonight, well, you can forget about that game. In fact, you can throw the score out the window.
There's a reason you play the games. No matter, the last score does not matter. Whether you won or lost has no bearing on the game you're about to play. especially in college. The second point of it is, with a team like Missouri, they have one of their best players, did not play in that game. Now he's playing. I think the last game helps them a lot more than it helps us.
Coach Cal just wants to make sure his guys don't come into this game overconfident, and as he mentioned, the Tigers will be with their star freshman Montague Gill-Caesar, a guy that did not play just a couple of weeks ago in Lexington. It's another late night tip, 9 o'clock. It'll air on ESPN. Reporting just outside of Mizzou Arena in Columbia, Missouri, Lee K. Howard, WKYT.
Coming up after the game, we'll have Coach Calipari's post-game comments. You can see him live right here during WKYT News at 11. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for you on WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. A man wanted for kidnapping 2 people in 2 states, including a 13-year-old boy, answered to those charges this morning. Robert Caldwell pled not guilty to a string of crimes. Police say Caldwell pulled a gun on the teenager outside his Casey County home on Tuesday, forced him into a truck, and then took off. He then let the teenager go for a while later, and the boy ran to a nearby store for help. Caldwell then led police on a chase before being arrested. We will hear the 911 call from the boy's mother coming up in a report on WKYT News at 4:30. Today we're getting more reports of parents being targeted in a kidnapping scam. Someone calls them claiming their children have been kidnapped and demands money for their safe return. Lexington police told us about 3 examples yesterday. We're learning that doctors from the Madison County Family Clinic and another doctor out of Rockcastle County also received those calls.
It's one thing when we're talking about stealing money. It's another thing when we're talking about stealing people's children.
Police say if you get one of these calls, you should get as much information as possible from the caller and then contact police. And we still don't know today if charges will be filed in an Estill County shooting involving a father and a son. Police say it happened late Tuesday night at a home on Sugar Hollow Road. They say Millard Dixon's father shot him during an argument. Coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, you'll hear the 911 call that started about an assault and then ended in a deadly shooting. That's a look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to stories making headlines around the world at 4. Rescuers are using sledgehammers to break through fallen concrete as they search for survivors of a gas explosion that shattered a maternity and children's hospital in Mexico City. At least 3 adults and a baby were killed and dozens of people injured. Witnesses say the explosion happened as the tanker was making a routine fill-up in the hospital's kitchen when the hose broke, spewing a cloud of gas. The fate of 2 Islamic State hostages remains unclear this afternoon. Late yesterday, ISIS released a message said to be of Japanese hostage Kenji Goto, extending the deadline for Jordan's release of a jailed female terrorist in exchange for the life of a Jordanian pilot. The message says the woman must be presented at the Turkish border by sunset today. Japan is desperately seeking Jordan's help to secure Kenji Goto's freedom. We're learning more about this week's drone crash on the White House grounds. The operator told the Secret Service he was drinking when he crashed the quadcopter. U.S. Secret Service officials have said it appears the man was using the drone for recreational purposes. That man works for the top secret National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and lives just blocks away from the White House. In a Snapchat interview, Republican Senator and potential presidential candidate Rand Paul of Kentucky talked about the security risk.
Drones should only be used according to the Constitution, but if they fly over my house, they better beware because I've got a shotgun.
The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency says the man under investigation in the White House drone case does not work on drones at his job. He has not been charged, but the Secret Service continues to investigate.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
Stocks shaking off losses and rallying today. The Dow jumped 225 points to close at 17,417. The Nasdaq added 45 and the S&P 19. Americans' 401k plans have hit record highs thanks to gains in the stock market and larger contributions from workers who take part in the savings plans. Fidelity says the average 401k balance was $91,300 in 2014. Springtime marks the start of the home selling season, and whether you're in the market to buy or sell, some helpful tips could save you thousands on the deal. Bagad Shaban has details from a new Consumer Report survey detailing the do's and don'ts for buyers and sellers.
Realtor Tammy Tarner says this 3-bedroom home in Los Angeles could sell for about 10% more if her clients upgrade their master bath with a new countertop and add modern tile.
That will net them easily between $30,000 and $50,000 in their sale price.
After only paying about $10,000 or $15,000 for the renovation?
I know, it's shocking.
In a new Consumer Reports survey, more than 300 real estate experts revealed even the tiniest improvements, like cleaning bathroom grout or adding new kitchen curtains, can raise a home's value.
Very soft, simple touches that can really, in the mind of the buyer, transform that kitchen and by extension make the entire home feel much more livable.
Clearing out clutter, touching up paint in high traffic areas, and minor polishes to curb appeal also top the list of easy fixes. In addition, Consumer Reports released a list of common and costly real estate blunders. For buyers, that includes not shopping around for a mortgage and skipping the home inspection. Sellers should avoid pricing homes too high and overpaying on commissions.
About 6 in 10 real estate professionals said they do negotiate their commission, and believe it or not, 4% worked out to be the average.
Experts say April is the best month to put a home up for sale. Bagad Shaban, CBS News, Los Angeles.
More than 5 million homes in the U.S. are expected to be sold by the end of this year. For the first time, Facebook will sell ads during the Super Bowl that target people based on what they're talking about in real time. The ads will include autoplay videos that appear on Facebook's news feed. They'll be triggered by keywords users mention on the social network as they watch the big game.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Football is definitely on the minds of many this week, but we are thinking more about University of Kentucky football here at Commonwealth Stadium. Check it out, the field, the progress that is being made, all of the developments being done here at Commonwealth Stadium. We have Russ Pear with us, who's overseeing all this. What a huge undertaking you have, my dear.
Well, it's just kind of continuing, 234 days. Every time you talk to me, it's a different number, and unfortunately, it never gets bigger. It's always getting smaller.
What I love to see is a lot of progress is actually being made, and the countdown is definitely on. But when you walk in here, it's very exciting to see what's happening. We are in the team room, you said, which is something that's going to be totally new for our Wildcats.
Correct. So this area here, this year, going into this year, our team will continue to use their regular locker room to get dressed. That's in Commonwealth Stadium. They'll go to the field at about 60 minutes, which is normally their routine. And then as they come off the field, they'll come into this area. And there is an area for them to meet with dry erase boards and where the coaches can talk to them. There is a small training room, an equipment room, where our x-ray machine will be. Then there's a media room, so for post-game media, we'll be all in this space, and a little lounge for coach to have. So they'll go in and out of here, and they'll be entering the field from the end zone, past the goalpost there. And then after the game this year, they'll go back into their locker room here. Going into 2016, when we have the new training facility, they'll start at the new training facility, get dressed, get taped, all those things, and then come down to the facility here.
All right, and then I understand the second floor here is for recruits.
Correct. So the second floor is our recruiting room, something we've been wanting to have for a long time, and that's this whole project is giving us a lot of spaces that we never had here in Commonwealth Stadium before. So our recruits, they'll actually check in, go up to that recruiting room. We'll meet and greet and do all the things that our recruiting folks do. And then when the game starts, they have to go out into the stands. They can't stay in there during the game. But it's a place that we're going to be able to use year-round, use it for a lot of our different sports. So it's going to make it really versatile for us to have.
Am I allowed to ask how much longer? I'm like the little kid in the back seat. How much longer, Russ? September 5th, 6:59, I hear.
Yeah, 200, yeah.
Okay, coming up.
34 days.
Coming up at 4:50, more with Russ and all of the progress that's being made here at Commonwealth Stadium. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about. Back to you guys.
It's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says cars are getting safer. A new report finds driver deaths in late model vehicles in 2011 were down 41% from late model cars in 2008. The IIHS says technology, including electronic stability control, as well as increased seatbelt use and airbags, contributed to the improvement. More children in the United States are relying on food stamps for their meals. The Census Bureau says 16 million American children received the benefit last year. That's 1 in 5 American children, the highest level since the start of the recession in 2008. A small new study adds to the questions about the safety of children's football. Researchers from Boston University tested 42 former NFL players with cognitive issues. They found players who started tackle football before the age of 12 performed significantly worse on memory and thinking tests than athletes who started playing later. But they say more research is needed. Amazon isn't just about book delivery anymore. The company is starting an email service for businesses called Workmail. It puts Amazon in direct competition with Microsoft for part of the corporate email market. Amazon says its program is more secure and simple to use. If you're running late for work these days, you're in good company. A new survey from CareerBuilder found 1 in 5 workers is late at least once a month, 1 in 10 once a week. The most common reason cited, traffic, followed by lack of sleep, trying to get children to school, and wardrobe issues. For more health, education, and consumer news, go to WKYT.com and click on Better Living.